Brian Manzella, director of the Brian Manzella Golf Academy at English Turn Golf and Country Club in New Orleans, Louisiana. Tiger Woods won the 2012 Arnold Palmer Invitational at the Bay Hill Club in Orlando, Florida. His 5-shot victory over Graham McDowell was highlighted by Tiger leading the field in greens of regulation and finishing in the top 5 in strokes gained putting. I'm going to show you 2 different moves Tiger made through the ball to play both straight shots and fades that kept him out of trouble and let him go at pins when it was a green light situation. The ability to control his ball led Tiger to his first victory on the PGA Tour in over 2 years, and those 2 moves can help you win a few tournaments of your own as well. Most golfers aren't very aware of what their club does after it hits the ball, but good players from working with their swing for a long time on video and using the radar machines like TrackMan know what their path and club face intentions are, and the result of those intentions in a position that I like to call the swivel, when the club is going from right side up at impact to upside down as the club is going up the plane. When Tiger or almost all of the great players are hitting a straight ball, what you'll see them do is flip that club upside down on plane and also lay the face on the plane. Now think about it, when the face was square at impact for a straight shot, it was cutting through the plane, so it had to turn more or less 90 degrees to get right there. And to turn that much, well, obviously the right hand and the left hand have a certain move to make. So a good way to think about this is, at impact, you're going to have a flat left wrist and a bent right wrist, and as you go through the ball, you're going to have more of a flat right wrist and a bent left wrist. And as you look at the great players on TV from the down the line camera and in the magazines and the swing sequences, that position is going to show up where the back of their left hand, most of them are wearing gloves, you'll be able to see the logo on the glove, appear as the club comes out the other side. You'll be actually able to see the back of their left hand when that face is on plane. One of the things Tiger's doing exceptionally well now in this straight ball swing is not only does he get to the swivel almost perfectly, but he allows the club to stay on plane, come more out of his right arm right here, and the club coming back more toward the ball, a finish you saw a lot in the 70s and the 80s with Johnny Miller and Jack Nicklaus and the great players back then. Now when Tiger Woods and the other great players on the PGA Tour want to hit a fade, there's a completely different swivel they employ, and I'm going to show you how to add it to your repertoire. The first thing you got to know is when you want to hit a cut shot, this club path or this club head is going to be left of the club face. And when you actually perform that, the club is going to do what we call come out a little bit lower. It's going to exit lower as you look at it, and if you look at your swing from video on a down the line look, as the club reappears on the other side of you, it's going to be much lower than it does for a straight ball or especially a draw. The other thing you got to make sure you do is don't close that club face and aim left and double cross it, make it go further left. And the little idea that I like to employ that's worked well for my students over the years is what I call gathering up the marbles. Imagine you're standing here over the ball and there's a big vat of marbles in front of you, brightly colored, pretty little marbles. And as you swing, instead of doing what you would do on a normal shot, which is your hand would kind of come out of the marbles on a pretty much, karate chop attitude to go ahead and help you lay this face on the plane, you're going to gather up the marbles on the fade shot. You're going to scoop up as many as you can. And a couple things are going to happen. One, at impact, you're not going to overdo the downward and throw off the path because your palm's going to be a little more facing you and controlling the forward lean down here at the ball. But then, as you go through further and the club exits lower and lefter, that palm and the club face is going to face you more as you go through the ball, something that Tiger Woods did brilliantly in the last round at Bay Hill. That gives the club face, instead of this laying on the plane look when the club is in the swivel, more of a vertical look. And that's going to really help that ball never go further left than where you're aiming. I promise that if you work on these 2 swivels, on plane, face laying on the plane, out of your right arm to the finish, and low left exit, gather up the marbles, hold off finish, you're going to be able to use this in your round to be able to golf your ball around the golf course and shoot some of the lowest scores you ever had.